So in the last class, we were discussing that Dehendriya pranamana ahamadibhi so ajnana kluptaihi. So this especially when you look at all these limitations, that is that I am limited, let us say in short. So why I am limited? I am limited with reference to body. I am limited with reference to my mind. I am limited with reference to sense organs. So all these limitations that I have is nothing but a projection of my ignorance. So that's why one is supposed to make one's own self free from that. And this is called upādhi. Like how once the person makes free from it, then only the person will be able to understand, then only the person will be able to know one's own self. And what is that one's own self? Akhanda rupam iti and pūrṇaṃ. So the self that is indivisible and the same time means non-dual, one, pūrṇaṃ, infinite, full. Like very nicely the word is being used, mahākāṣam iva. So there the point, mahākāṣam iva, as though or like, for example, like the space. So as the author brought the word mahākāṣa, the space, now next verse also is going to go along with the space. So further the explanation of that word mahākāṣa. Let us read. Ghata kalasha kushula suci. Correct. Ghata kalasha kushula suchimukhi. Because actually I am struggling. That's why. See how beautiful it looks. So letters are really big, very nice. Yeah? Ghata kalasha kushula suchimukhi. Gaganam upādhi satir vimuktamekam bhavati na vividham tatheva suddham paramahmādi vimuktamekameva. So this is what life is. Once you get little bit acquainted, so then you love to do not use the specs to look visible. Or else I was guessing many verses. Without specs, I guess and go hide. Okay, to be very honest. However, so gives the example. So what is the example here? If you look at, the space is available everywhere. Starting with, gives example ghata. So ghata means a pot. And kalasham. So very nicely, ghatam, when he says ghata, is a pot. So it can be anything. It can be good, bad. Whereas kalasham is generally considered as the good one. Same thing like kalasham means like it's a pot, small one. So generally we use, so it has got, we use for different purposes, especially puja purpose. So the auspiciousness is connected to kalasham. Whereas with reference to pot, need not be. So ghata, kalasha. Ghata also has got space in ghata. There is space in pot. Also a special type of, kalasham. There is also space. And kushula. So kushula means a huge one, barn. So that is also space. And interestingly, suchimukhi. Suchimukhi means that needle. So needle will have a hole. They say eye of needle, okay? That small hole, tiny hole. And especially when you become old, why old? Young people also struggle. Where to put that fellow, the thread, okay? And there, the grandchildren start playing a big role. You understand? When the grandmother is struggling to put the needle inside, even if sometimes mother, when struggles, child becomes, look, mama, Unless you give me this, I am not going to help you. But nowadays things have changed, okay? Everything is through. Nobody in present generation do not know how to use the needle, okay? They think something is different, funny. However, coming back, Suchi Mukheihi. So the eye of a needle. And of course, Gagana, the space. He says, look, if you look at all these things, all are called upādhi. So that means everywhere you see the limitation in space. And remember, as the object is, based on the object, space is being appreciated, acknowledged and recognized. Recognized and acknowledged. That's why we all fight for space. You understand? This is my space, that is your space. And of course, in reality, space doesn't belong to anybody, but everybody fights for their personal space, thinking that this is my space. That's really illusion of life. However, but the space is being recognized, accepted, and also we function based on the object where the space is located. But in reality, in space, the object is located. Because the house is in the space, not the space is in house. But we all say what? Space is in house. This is the problem for all of us. This is how we have seen it many times, many occasions. However, how this happens? That means what? The Mahakasham, the space, has its limitations or appears to be limited, better word, appears to be limited whenever it has its upādhi conditioning, and based on the conditioning, the space appears recognized. Can you see this point? That is what he says. But however, if you remove this upādhis conditionings and really if you make it free, then you will see what? Ekam bhavati na vividham. So the space becomes one. In fact, there is no becoming. Space is one, okay? But we use the word becoming. Space never becomes one, okay? But we can say that, look, because as though there was division, so as though there is unit. So because there was as though division, the whole teaching does as though there is unit. That's why become, when we use as though becoming. Please understand. Whereas this word become becomes a big marketing tool. In fact, our problem is sense of becoming. The whole samsara, how we translate samsara? The easiest way of translating samsara is what? Sense of becoming. So as long as there is a sense of becoming predominant in me, that long I am a samsari. Now again I become the total. I become Brahman. Don't you think that is another type of sense of becoming? So that's why we have to be very careful why we say or why we use the word sense of here, the word become. So here becoming means because as though there was a division, as though there was confusion. That's why as though there is understanding. And that is how it functions. That is how mind works. Nothing else. That you have to be very careful, or else what will happen? Swamiji, I am only interested in Brahman, Ātman. So eat Brahman. No, people go crazy. Swamiji, Brahman. Hey, Brahman, not Brahman, Brahma, okay? So everything. Swamiji, I am not interested. I am spiritual. I am, only interested in Shreyas. Please be interested. Who says no? Continue. But don't impose you that you only look for stress. Don't depose on anybody. Get lost. Do whatever you want. However, let us not get into the story part. Let us not waste our time in the other way around. Here he says like that. Now he says, when this is being removed, you will see what? Only space. So also, Tataḥ, so also. Here the Suddham Paramam Ahamadi Vimuktam Ekam Evaiti. So when this Brahman, that which is supreme reality, which is Suddham, pure, but appears to be Ahamadi. So what is that Ahamadi? You better know. Ahamadi means ego, etc. So Deha, Indriya, Mana, Prana. So with reference to every conditioning, it appears to be limited. But whereas once it is free from the conditionings, the Brahman, the supreme reality, that which is pure, Suddham, Ekamiti, indeed, Ekameva, indeed one. There is no division at all. And what is that? How is it to look at? Then what about all this creation and everything? Let us read this verse. Next. Brahmādistamba-paryantā mṛṣāmātrā upādhayaḥ Tataḥ pūrṇaṃ svamātmānaṃ paśyed ekātmanā sthitam. So when we look at this, we have a beautiful saying every time. Brahmādistamba-paryantā. So when we want to explain where is God, the all-pervasiveness of God, let us say, omnipresent, is being explained with this word called Brahmādistamba-paryantā. So here is Brahmādistamba-paryantā. So beginning from Brahmaji, the creator, means the best. And what? Stamba-paryantā. So stamba means a wood, log of wood. Generally what happens, stamba is generally a pillar. So starting from Brahmaji till a pillar. Remember, mṛṣāmātrā, they are quite false, not truth. Because interestingly, if there is no creation, where is creator? So we don't need a Brahmaji. And interestingly, all these things are being very nicely highlighted through the stories, which is not necessarily, but the teaching is being communicated. That Brahmaji, it seems, told a lie. Different context and different people present, okay? Especially in South Indian context, we can say that they say about this Tiruvannamalai. So Tiruvannamalai is called Agni Kshetra. So fire. And those who have gone must have observed. Even if in winter, because nowadays you don't feel that, but those days it was really cold. Because I have seen the cold in Tiruvannamalai 20-30 years back. In winter, if you go to this Arunachala temple Sannidhim, enter inside, you will sweat there. In winter itself. Whereas you go to any other temple in the same Tiruvannamalai, any other temple Sannidhim, nearer to it, you will not sweat at all. This is something unique to be observed. So next time, if you have not observed, next time you must observe this, okay? Physically, you can see that heat. However, so this Tiruvannamalai, those days they say, this is what the story goes. So Lord Shiva appeared to be a pillar of fire. And interestingly, Brahma and Vishnu were asked to find out how big is it. So Brahmaji said, I will go up. So he took the help of the swan, started flying to go up. And Vishnu went down. And finally, Vishnu and Brahma, both of them came back. Vishnu said openly, sorry, I could not find the end of it. The deeper I went down, I saw more and more. Then I said, okay, leave it. I left it. I came up. But Brahmaji said, no. I saw the finite, the end point of this pillar. So how is it possible? Being creator. So he tried to bribe somebody, okay? This is my version, okay? So he convinced someone. So who is that? One particular flower. Very nice fragrance comes. So that flower, he brought it as sample. He said, look, on the top of it, this flower was there. And you can talk to the flower, say. Flower also said, yes. Then of course, Brahmaji was being given curse. You told a lie. And because you told a lie, there are different versions. Because you told a lie, that's why nobody will worship you. That's why in India, you will find out very few Brahma temple, very few. Any Pushkara is there. Because why Pushkara was being managed, still is there, famous, Pushkara one place. Because when Daksha Prajapati was there, so that time this Brahma temple was there. Brahma's place was there. So because of that reason, still it is being maintained long back. History goes very old. However, that's why along with Brahmaji also, the flower has also been given curse. Interestingly, that flower, one of the best fragrance you can have. In fact, in India, in Eastern India, in the betel leaf, to make the mouth red, okay? So they put this red, little bit small of this thing, and in that, this flower they use to have beautiful fragrance. So that when you chew the pan, wow, what a fragrance will come. You cannot think of. So okay, let me not get into this other part of it, okay? So it's a Ketaki flower. So English I have to search, I have, what is that, all about it, okay? That's why that flower also got cursed. That's why that flower is never used for any worship. We don't use that flower at all. But because the flower, tried to plead and say, look, this is my situation. Because I had to agree with that, I understand, but at least something. Then Lord Shiva said, okay, there is one day you can be used. And that is on Shivaratri day. In fact, to be very honest, this is the secret. If you want to please Lord Shiva, offer that flower on Shivaratri day. That it works. So these are the secret, okay? It really works, okay? But don't ask me where to get, okay? But the worst thing happens is, I remember, in our teenage time, few days before we start searching to get that flower. And it should be really ripe and proper one, okay? About to blossom. Because it takes time, so it's about to blossom. But nowadays, I think few years back I saw in Odisha, some few days back, I saw people are, selling flowers after flowers some 4 or 5 days before. So that means they destroy everything beforehand, you understand? Very pathetic situation. However, coming back to the point, let us not waste our time. Brahmādistamba-paryantā, from there I went. mṛṣāmātrā, and all are upādhayaḥ, all are conditionings. Remember, Tataḥ pūrṇaṃ swam ātmānaṃ paśyed ekātmanā sthitam iti. Therefore, what is to be done? He says, because all are conditioning, and not only these are the conditionings, also it is not truth, it is unreal. Then what is to be done? Please, one should spend time to see what is to be seen. Pūrṇaṃ swam ātmānaṃ iti. So the person supposed to see the Atma, that which is pūrṇaṃ. Pūrṇaṃ means the complete. So when the Atma is complete, the sees, the one's own self, paśyed, one should see this, one should understand it. And that is to what? This pūrṇātma is ekātmanā sthitam iti. That which is existence, that which exists as me, that which appears as me. That's why I don't have to waste my time in anything. How? Let us read. Yatra bhrantya kalpitam tad viveke tattan matram naiva tasmad vibhinnam bhranter nase bhati drushta hitatvam rajustat svamātmānaṃ. Not bad, I managed, okay? So he says beautifully, if you observe how to understand this, it is a matter of discrimination, nothing else. The imagination and discrimination. Problem with us is, most of the time our discriminative faculty goes along with imagination. In fact, most of the time our discriminative faculty supports our imagination. Very rarely discriminative faculty goes against imagination or tries to see the limitation of imagination. This is the problem. How and why? He says, look, he gives a beautiful example first. Let us look at the example so that it becomes easier. Rajuhu. So if you look at Rajuhu, what happens to Raju? So now there is a rope lying down. So when a rope is lying down, so there is some type of imagination, there is some type of projection, there is some type of fear, there is some type of memory that reminds me maybe there is a snake. Now when he says maybe there is a snake, now all my discriminative faculty says yes. In fact, a few years back in our village, such and such lady was going in the evening there and was being beaten up by that snake, one snake. Can you see how this discriminative faculty supports this imagination? Now more and more I think, more and more I add my discriminative faculty to the imagination. Then what happens? The rope becomes alive for me. Then in fact, say, look, this fellow is very smart and intelligent, lying down very carefully as though doesn't know anything. And suppose if I am little smart or intelligent, and also I try to take a stick and push it. Hey, look, lying down, maybe that fellow has eaten some rat or something, not moving at all. Can you see how the discriminative faculty is supporting my imagination? And interestingly, the moment I have discriminative faculty back, what happens? Where I was seeing the rope, there I start seeing, where I was seeing the snake, there I start seeing a rope. To see the rope, do I have to do anything? In reality, I don't have to do anything to see the rope. Because rope is there, that's all. Because of my projection, the rope as though appeared, not appeared, okay? As though appeared. It became a reality for me that it is a snake. So the snake was a reality for me. I started screaming, I started shouting, I started calling people, I started running away, I tried to bring the stick, I did many things. Because the snake was a reality for me. But was it reality? Was it really reality? In fact, it appeared to be reality. So how it happens? Same thing also. Bhrantya kalpitam tad viveke tat tanmatram naiva tasmat vivinnam bhrantena se bhranti drushtam ahitatvam raju tadvat. I hope you understand. So he says, what? Because of bhranti, because there is a mistake, and this mistake happens because of the ignorance, because of the mistake, then of course, because of that reason, there is that kalpitam, kalpana. So kalpana means that imagination. So person starts imagining. And of course, tad viveke, discrimination is involved. Now, that imagined object, tanmatram na eva. Now, because of this thing, it was there. Now, when viveka is involved, then automatically that particular imagination, what happens? Becomes what? That substractum. And of course, I made a mistake. I presented it differently because next line it will talk. I spoke rightly, but verse I took wrongly. Here it says beautifully, because I jumped it. So here says that when there is a bhranti and there is imagination, there is a mistake and imagination, and of course the discrimination also supports there, then that imagined object, tat tanmatram, that becomes. And of course, even though in reality it is not, but it happens. But what happens? When, says beautifully, when bhrante nasehe, and when the bhranti, that means the mistake, the error, that is committed, the projection that has happened, when that gets destroyed, then what happens? Bhranti drushta ahitatvam. So that means what? He says, look, how the bhranti automatically will go away. And really, here he says that how the snake rajju was being perceived the snake was perceived on this rope. Vishwam atmaswarupam iti tadvat, like that. This Vishwa, in short, this universe is on what? Is nothing but atmaswarupam iti. That means this universe appears, or I would rather say, to us as a reality, or you can say the Atma appears as though Vishwam, this creation, because of Bhranti. So wherever we see Vishwam, there is Atma. Wherever there is Atma, there need not be Vishwam. More of it. Swayam Brahma, Swayam Vishnu, Swayam Indra, Swayam Shiva, Swayam Vishwamidam Sarvam, Swasmat Anyan Nakinchana. Swayam Brahma, Swayam Vishnu. Beautifully. Aham, generally, I use the word aham, that somebody said, look, if I have to say aham, aham means me, okay? I am, who am I? I am stupid, I am insecure, I am so and so. At least you say Devendra iti, aham Devendra iti, okay? At least if you want to say something, I am Devendra, I am the God, king of the gods, not ordinary, okay? Not a prime minister or president, okay? Talk big words, okay? Aham Devendra iti, aham Vishnu iti. What is happening? Gone away somewhere. Aham Vishnu iti, aham Brahma iti. So that is being said. In reality, I am that, okay? So Swayam, the self, is Brahma. And Swayam is Vishnu. Swayam, the self, is Indra. Devendra, that's why I use the word Devendra iti. Not ordinary Indra, okay? Devendra, okay? So Indra is called also king, okay? Sometimes. So here Devendra is the word, no? King of all the God. And Aham Shiva iti. And also I am Vishwam iti. The self is the universe. Idam sarvam susmat anyat na kinchana. In fact, in this universe, there is nothing other than me. So whatever I see, that is me. That's why I don't have to worry at all. That's why what I do, whatever I do, again it will come back to me. Some way or other, the karma theory, how and why. Remember, my tooth, somebody's body, I bite your finger. My tooth, your finger. Pain can come to you. So in reaction, you can hit my tooth or some other place. You understand? This is an action and reaction game. That is how common people think. So they think, oh, because I did this thing, the reaction came. To be very honest, there is no reaction. Only what you do, that you get back. How? Same example I am taking it. Your tooth and your finger. So when you bite your finger, who gets pain? It is you. And also out of anger, if you hit your tooth or anything else, again both ways, because everything is you. That's why karma theory is intact because of this reason. Because you are Brahma, you are Vishnu, there is nothing different from you. So that's why whatever you do, you cannot give pain to anybody. Somehow or other, you are doing for yourself. Can you see this point? Because there is nothing different from you. This is the truth, this is the reality. You cannot do anything for anybody. Try. But common people think karma theory means what? It is karma phalam is most of the time reaction. So there is nothing called reaction. It is just result of action. So never ever think, oh, this is a reaction of my action. No. It is just a result of my action. That understanding should come. What we use the word? Consequences of my action. Not that the person's reaction, person's response, no, not necessary. That person's response again becomes that person's problem, not yours. That's why the more I understand that everything is me, whatever I do, only I get that result. Even if somebody reacts, remember, that is also me. That is his problem or her problem. Again, that is me. Like, when I bite my tooth, I bite my finger. Now, what happens? The finger is me. The tooth is me. But finger thinks, why did this tooth bite? You understand? Sometimes finger says, why did it happen? And especially, if you hit somewhere, your leg, and winter, up, and the worst thing happens, I'll tell you, you hit somewhere and some scratch takes place. You try to protect. You will discover every time only you will hit that place. And more you try to protect, more it becomes worse. If you leave it, you forget it, it's taken care. Have you not observed that? Somebody said this is law of Murphy, correct? Murphy's law. So, because nothing to do, somebody said beautifully, I was listening to one interview, okay, just joke a little bit. In the cricket, somebody was making a joke. So, who missed the first catch? A child says, ask the question, can you tell? A child is doing this joke, okay? Who missed the first catch in this world? So the cricketer, because few cricketers were there, they were shocked. No, we don't know who is the person. Then the first child smiles and says, look, Newton missed the first catch. Had he caught the apple, we would not have studied that law so long. Poor fellow missed the catch. Now we are studying that law. Poor fellow destroyed our life. So coming back, look now how people. So here same thing also. The person here thinks differently. Now if you look at the finger thinks that why did the tooth bite me? Now also finger wants to do something. But it is not accepted, not allowed, it is another thing altogether. But whereas if you are little sensible, what happens? Hey, the finger is me, the tooth is me. And that happens especially with reference to the association that is between the tongue and the tooth. That's why we say a relationship is exactly, if you want to see the relationship, the best relationship you want to see in the world, that is in you, that is called the relationship between the tooth and the tongue. Both are complementing each other and being different in character, being different in shape, being different in everything. There is no similarity at all. Can you see this point? There is no similarity at all. The tooth is strong, tongue is soft. Tooth is white. Okay, sometimes because of the tongue, craziness becomes a different color. Okay, another thing altogether. But the tongue color is different. The shape is different. The jaw is different. In any way, if you look at, there is no similarity at all. But both of them are complementing each other. That's why you can see the moment tooth bites because of by mistake, you bite your tongue. Yes, that time tear comes, the tongue literally withdraws. But how long? As long as there is a severe pain. Remember this point. The moment pain subsides and there is something tooth eats and something gets stuck, what will do the tooth, the tongue? Will go and try to remove and try to find out or not what is stuck in between the teeth. And interestingly, what does the tooth do? Teeth also helps tongue, because if you don't bite the food, if it doesn't cut into small pieces, will you be able to enjoy? Will the tongue or the taste bud will be able to enjoy? So because you enjoy the food better, the tongue enjoys the food better because of what? Because of the teeth. And interestingly, you can see because of the combination of the tongue and teeth, we are able to speak better. Not only look better, the speech comes out very well. Imagine there is no tongue. The moment of tongue becomes other way around. Or there is no teeth. Can you talk? You understand? Only air will come out, nothing else, okay? So that is the truth, that is the reality. So I stress differently. So that's why one need to look at very carefully that how everything goes smoothly. And at the same time, I am everything. And when I look at I am everything, please understand one great good thing happens in me is that I really do not bother unnecessarily. I don't get bothered, I don't get worried unnecessarily for small things in my life. And when I don't bother for small things in my life, I'll have better energy for better things in my life. Or else what will happen? Life will become mechanical. Let life not be mechanical is my sincere wish. Never ever allow mind to become mechanical. And also never ever allow the mind to go down. The moment you discover mind is going down, means your energy is being shocked. You are drained or getting drained. Do something, take up some challenge, do something, engage. So that again you are back. Remember, people will be attracted towards you because of your energy. The talent that is visible through the energy, you understand? Suppose you have full of talent. It will not work. Talent and energy goes together, hand in hand together. But energy is raw, rough. Of course nobody will like it. That's why what is to be done? Make sure always you are doing something. And of course, tomorrow is a day, festival of light, Deepavali. So light the lamp. And those who are possible, especially India, burst some crackers. This is must. So enjoy Deepavali. That's all. Nothing much to say. Okay? Thank you, all of you. More of it we'll see some other time. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādhāya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.